As I walked through the wilderness of this world, I came upon a certain place where there was a den, and I laid down in that place to sleep. And as I slept, I dreamed a dream. I dreamed, and behold, I saw a man clothed with rags, standing in a certain place, with his face away from his house, a book in his hand, and a great burden heaped upon his back. I looked and saw him open the book, and read within it, and as he read, he wept and trembled. And not being able to contain it any longer, he wailed out with a distressing cry, saying, "What shall I do?" Still, even though his plight wore on him, he went home and restrained himself as long as he could, so that his wife and children would not see his distress. Only he could not be silent long, because he felt his troubles increasing. At last he bared his mind to his wife and children, and he began to talk to them. "Oh, my dear wife," he said, "and you, my sweet children, I, your dear friend and father, am distressed by a burden that lies heavy on me. Furthermore, I am told with certainty that our city will be burned with fire from heaven. This fire will fearfully obliterate this place. Myself, you, my lovely wife, and you, my sweet babies, shall become completely ruined, unless some way of escape can be found where we may be delivered." At all this his family was amazed, not because they believed what he had said to them was true, but because they thought that some illness or madness had gotten into his head. Now it was drawing towards night, and they hoped that sleep might settle him down. With all the hastiness they could muster, they got him to bed. But the night was as troublesome to him as the day. Instead of sleeping, he spent it awake, in sighs and tears. When the morning came, they asked how he was doing. He told them worse and worse. He tried reasoning with them again, but they began to become hardened to his words. They also thought that they could drive his madness away by harsh and angry treatment towards him. Sometimes they would ridicule him. Sometimes they would lecture him, and sometimes they would simply ignore him. Afterwards, he began to recluse himself to his room, to pray for and pity them, and also to wallow in his own misery. He would also walk alone in the fields, sometimes reading, and sometimes praying, and for some length of days this is how he spent his time. Now I saw after some time, when he was walking in the fields, that he was, as usual, reading in his book, and greatly troubled in his mind. And as he read, he burst out as he had often done before, crying, "What can I do to be saved?" I saw also that he looked this way and that, as if he would run. Yet he stood still, because, as I perceived, he could not tell which way to go. I looked then, and saw a man named Evangelist slowly walking towards him, and who asked him, "Why do you cry so?" "Sir," said Christian, for that was his name, "I've read in this book that I am holding, that I'm condemned to die, and after that I will be judged. I think that I'm unwilling to do the first, and I'm afraid to do the second." Then Evangelist asked, "Why are you not willing to die, since this life is filled with so many evils?" Christian answered, "Because I am afraid that this burden that is on my back will sink me lower than the grave, and I will be dragged into a fiery darkness. Sir, if I'm unfit to go to prison, I'm certainly unfit to go to judgment, and from there to death. Thinking of these things makes me cry." Then Evangelist said, "If this is what distresses you, why are you standing still?" Christian responded to him, "Because I have no idea where to go." Evangelist handed him a rolled-up parchment, which Christian hesitantly unrolled, and within it was written, "Flee from the wrath to come."